Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcasts, a modern, innovative multimedia platform broadcasting ideas and connecting minds. You're about to listen to a new short story from Storie Sotto le Stelle podcast. We invite families and friends of all ages to gather under the Tuscan night sky, ready to be carried away by magical short stories suitable for children and the young at heart. Here begins a wonderful adventure, a gift for all dreamers in search of enchantment, wonder, and wisdom. From the original Italian, here we present the English version. Now, let's all be quiet. The story is about to begin.
The Tribe of the Wandering Shoes. Part 3 and 4. Winter, spring, and then the return. After a summer shining with light and an autumn drizzly but fascinating in its colours, the Tribe of the Wandering Shoes set off again for new adventures, mysterious, surprising, and of course, a little dangerous. More determined than ever, ready to overcome any challenge, they resumed their journey. Winter didn't take long to arrive. In December, the first snow fell on the mountains. The tribe boarded a coach headed to the Dolomites, where the snow-covered peaks waited for them on the horizon. As soon as they settled into the hotel, excitement took over. They couldn't wait to dive into the fresh snow and build a giant snowman. They got straight to work, shoveling pile after pile of snow. With a little ladder, step by step, they reached the height of the face. 2 buttons for eyes, a carrot for a nose, a pipe in the mouth and a scarf wrapped around the neck. It was perfect. "Brr! It's freezing!" exclaimed one of them, and they all looked down at their tips and saw they were completely frozen. "We need a miracle," declared one shoe with a solemn tone. "Maybe a portable radiator," mumbled another, her laces trembling. They decided to call the Alpine Rescue Team, which arrived with a supersonic jet packed with hot water bottles, boiling tea, and thermal blankets. But just then, the weather station mounted on a spaceship at the top of the mountain reported a severe snowstorm on the way. The tribe, worried, asked to return immediately to the valley, but the jet couldn't transport them in the traditional way. "The only solution? Catapult them down like snowballs wrapped in thermal blankets. Excuse me, but has anyone ever tried this system before?" asked one shoe, suspicious. "No, but what could possibly go wrong?" replied another. "Worst case, we'll end up spread across the snow like jam on toast." The flight was wild. They bounced off a cable car, spun an eagle and a couple of vultures into the air, who, surprised, exclaimed, "Oh, ooh!" Fortunately, the mountain pines gave them a soft landing with their snowy branches. The shoes landed unlaced, a bit bruised but safe. "I think we just invented the first extreme sport for footwear," commented one still dizzy. The villagers in the valley found them and, touched by their story, brought them to the old cobbler in town. The man, with decades of experience repairing mountain shoes, was initially puzzled to see such a colourful and battered bunch. That night, the cobbler couldn't sleep, wondering how to fix them. At dawn, with determination, he got to work. "No, no, help! You're going to hurt me!" protested the purple shoe at the sight of the tools. "Oh, please," said the cobbler with a smile. "I've been bringing mountain boots back to life for years. You'll be brand new, trust me." And so, with expert hands, he stitched, glued, and brightened their colours, working passionately until every shoe looked spectacular again. The tribe spent happy days in the village. With Christmas around the corner, they helped decorate the lit-up streets, snow-covered trees, and shop windows. By then, everyone knew their story and called them left and right for advice on decorations. The atmosphere was magical and festive. Soon the days grew brighter, and you could feel the awakening of spring in the air. Their snowy adventure was behind them, but a new challenge was waiting ahead. The tribe started to miss the city they had left and decided to go back. They marched in single file and took the right road at the first roundabout. They followed a little stream and after a long walk stopped by the bank to rest. They stepped into the shallow water to cool off, when one of them, sharper than the others, noticed something strange beneath some dry branches. Come here, she called out. The others rushed over curiously, and with great effort they managed to flip over what turned out to be an old wooden boat. They jumped in, nudging each other. I'm going first. No, me first. They bickered, tripping over their own laces. But since they were a bit tired from walking, each one took her place. Soon they noticed a problem. Has anyone seen the oars? Oh no, now how do we move? Just then, a shiny pike and a giant shimmering carp emerged from the foamy waves, and without saying a word, began to push the boat, gliding it along the stream and lifting it into the air. "But this is magic!" gasped one shoe, amazed. As the stream widened into a river, they spotted their city in the distance. The two extraordinary fish dropped them off on the shore and in the blink of an eye vanished into the golden reflections of the water. "Good gracious, what just happened?" they all exclaimed. Still stunned and silent, they headed toward the big tree-lined park in the city. Lying in the grass, they looked up at the blue sky and realized just how much they had missed their busy store and the bustling crowd. That's when they noticed something strange. For the first time, they looked carefully at the glowing sign above the entrance. Sorelle Soletta, department store. They stared at each other wide-eyed. The little witch Soletta was the owner of the shop. Once placed back on the shelves, with their laces tied tight and their soles polished, the shoes smiled at one another. "What an adventure, folks," sighed the purple shoe. "Oh, yeah," replied the red one. "But it's so nice to be back here. With all due respect to eagles, cobblers and flying fish, nothing beats the smell of the shop in the morning," added the blue shoe dreamily. "And here we've got curtains, changing rooms and customers who try us on gently. Not to mention little witch Soletta watching over us." They all burst out laughing. "In the end," concluded the one with golden laces, "travelling is wonderful, but coming home is even better." And from that day on, every time a child or an adult chose one of them, a new story began. But that one, well, that is another adventure.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Storie Sotto le Stelle podcast. If you like this story, add this show to your favorite podcast player and share Storie Sotto le Stelle podcast with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to connect your brand to this show and its audience, visit itspmagazine.com to learn how to sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our fantastic journey. If you wish to read this and many more stories in Italian and in English, please visit storiesottolestelle.com. A presto.